Living in Texas sounds great on the surface. No state income tax, larger homes, me being your real estate agent, I'm just kidding. But a lower cost of living as well compared to places like California or New York. But let's be honest, there are a lot of stuff not talked about that don't always make it into the headline news. Now, if you're considering making Texas your home, there's plenty you should know beyond the sales pitch. Now, Texas is full of quirks that you either grow to love or you want to stay away from. What's up, guys? My name is Casey McEwen, and I'm your local trusted real estate agent and investor in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And if you're finding this channel content on all things Dallas-Fort Worth valuable, make sure to hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. It truly helps out the channel. Now first, let's start with the weather, which is often misunderstood by those coming from milder climates. Summers in Texas don't just get hot, guys. They can get extremely hot. It's not uncommon for sidewalks to feel like stovetops, which makes even quick outdoor errands feel like a mini endurance challenge. You'll also need to protect your pet's paws as well because the pavement can genuinely burn them. Now, on top of the heat, weather in Texas changes on a dime. Blue skies in the morning can shift to severe storms by the afternoon. Texas is known for intense hailstorms that can damage roofs, dent cars, and sometimes force insurance claims. Now, if you're moving here, owning a garage isn't a luxury, it's almost a necessity. Now, keep in mind though, if you are someone, let's say maybe up in the Northeast, I also am set to get married to a Canadian next month, and needless to say, she absolutely loves the weather down here because large in part, snow is something that they put up with for 4 or 5 months of the year. So if you're someone that certainly likes the warmer climate, if you're someone that enjoys the sun, because I've also lived in the beautiful city of Seattle, where it's great for a couple months in the summer, but then you just don't see the sun for many, many months at a time. Well, Texas is going to be a great fit in that sense, where yes, you actually see the sun probably 300, maybe 320 days of the 365 days a year. Texas doesn't really get much snow, but we do get ice. Now, a couple times a year, temperatures dip below freezing, and when that happens, cities pretty much come to a complete standstill. Now, without salt trucks and plows, roads become dangerous pretty quickly, and even mild ice storms can knock out power and close schools. Now, while outages aren't the norm here, they've been known to last hours or even longer during severe storms like the infamous 2021 freeze. Now, humidity also varies across the state. The further south you go, like Houston or the Gulf Coast, the heavier it's gonna get. And in contrast, areas like the Dallas-Fort Worth area experience less humidity, but still aren't exactly a dry heat like, let's say, Vegas or Arizona. Now, May and June can feel particularly sticky, and air conditioning isn't just helpful, it's essentially survival. Now, natural disasters in Texas also deserve some attention. Now, tornadoes here are a part of life, especially in North Texas, though most people do their whole lives without even actually being directly hit. Warning systems are common, and while many alarms do go off without major impact, it's still wise to take them seriously. That said, tornado shelters in homes are rare. Most people shelter in interior rooms, bathrooms, or stairwells when needed. And hurricanes, on the other hand, mainly affect the southern coastline near Houston and Galveston. These can bring flooding and major storm damage, though areas further inland like Dallas-Fort Worth typically avoid the worst of it. Now, flooding does occur, especially in older neighborhoods without proper drainage, but new construction tends to handle these runoffs much better. Now let's talk about traffic and commuting, which often surprises newcomers when they relocate down here. Now, Texas is massive, of course, not just as a state, but city by city. You could drive 45 minutes and still be in the same zip code. Now, the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex alone can take over an hour to cross. Unlike compact coastal cities, everything in Texas is spread out, and driving is part of the lifestyle. Freeways are wide, speed limits stretch to 75 miles an hour in many areas, and it's not uncommon for drivers to go faster than 85. Now, expect traffic during rush hours in all of the major metros, Dallas, Austin, Houston, and San Antonio. It may not be as bad as LA or New York City, but it's still a daily factor to plan around. Now, personally, I have lived in San Antonio for a year. I visited Houston a handful of times, also visited Austin, and I am located in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, so I've covered basically all 4 of the metros where traffic really could be kind of a deal breaker or maybe an issue for some people. I will say the Dallas-Fort Worth area where I live now certainly does have traffic, and a lot of people since relocating here over COVID or over the last couple, I guess maybe 5 years now, will say that traffic is a lot worse than it was just 5 years ago. But generally speaking, as long as you avoid the large rush hours, traffic is not going to be an issue here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area or really anywhere else in the entire state of Texas. It's just going to be those peak commute hours during either early mornings when you're going to work or maybe when you're headed home. Now, you've probably heard that Texas has no state income tax, and that's absolutely true. But what gets less attention are the high property taxes. Now, that's how many local governments fund school and infrastructure. Now, while rates can differ by county, they tend to be higher than the national average. So keep that in mind if you are looking to relocate down here. Even with some recent tax cuts, rising home values have pushed overall bills up. That's why it's certainly common to protest your home's appraised value every single year, which is a right homeowners here frequently use to keep their taxes in check. Now, schools in Texas vary widely depending on where you live as well. Public school quality is tied to your actual physical address, so it's important to research districts before choosing a home. Some areas, let's say like Highland Park in Dallas or Eanes in Austin, are known for top-rated schools, while others may be seriously under-resourced. Private schools are popular in cities and suburbs, offering everything from religious to college prep programs, though they can certainly be expensive. Homeschooling is also big in Texas, with few regulations and lots of local co-ops and sport league. Now, while we're talking about sports, especially football, it is obviously a huge part of school culture here statewide, even in homeschool communities. Whether public, private, or home-based, Texas offers a range of education options as long as you plan ahead. Now let's move on to my favorite part, which is food. Here, food in Texas, it certainly doesn't disappoint. We've got world-class barbecue joints and taco trucks to farm-to-table restaurants and small-town diners. Food here is obviously taken seriously. You'll find brisket smoked for 12 hours, breakfast tacos that rival any major brunch city, and community dance halls where locals gather for live music and two-stepping. Part of what makes the social scene here in Texas unique, just friendly, lively, and surprisingly diverse. Now, having moved to the great state of Texas at 25 and now being the age of 35, I've got a strong decade of basically lots of food attempted throughout the state of Texas. Now, one thing I can say is I've tried food really all over the United States as well as all over the entire world, but Texas itself has so much to offer when it comes to great food. Now, all in all, Texas is full of surprises. You get big skies, open roads, and a wide range of people and places depending on where you choose to land. It's not perfect, obviously nowhere is, but it does offer space to build a life that feels uniquely yours. If you're considering moving here, plan a visit, reach out to me. I've got you covered all over the state of Texas. I'm here locally in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, but I've got some of my best friends that can help you out no matter what city you're looking at in Texas. And as always, I appreciate all of the love and support. Make sure to like and subscribe and stay tuned for next week's content.